Welcome to live.withcode.uk. This is episode 27 and it's National Storytelling Week this week. So we are going to make a Python program together that is a randomly chosen story that you can react to. It's a choose your own text adventure story game. So we have some lists in Python, and whatever you have in those lists, it will choose something random from it. Here it says after an hour or so you find a spider. We're given some choices, so I'm going to try and eat that spider. It says you've decided to eat, and then it just keeps going forever and ever and ever. So it is live coding. The idea of this video is to guide you through how to put this program together, and then remember, in the description, if you're watching on YouTube or on live.withcode.uk, there's links to some free remote learning activities that you can work through at your own pace. So let's build the program together. Let's start with a title. So choose your own adventure. And then I'll underline that with some equal signs. And I'd like it to say something like after and then a certain amount of time, you and then discover or find or seek out or something like that. And then an object. And then it says, here are your choices. And then it should display all of your choices. And then it's going to ask a question. What are you going to do? What do you choose? What are you going to do? And then I want it to just keep repeating that. But first I'd like it to say, you have chosen to, and then it should display what we've chosen. And that's going to repeat forever and ever and ever. So that's kind of the plan for this program. So we need to make it randomly choose after a certain amount of time. Python can't do random choices unless we tell it how to do random choices. So we're going to import the random module. And then we need to know what we're choosing from. So let's have some lists. So let's say a list of durations, so time periods. We could say after a few minutes, or so these are lists of strings all separated by commas. After an hour or so, after a little while. You can put your own options in here and it should work with your story. Then instead of the ellipsis, instead of the 3 dots, we're going to use that random module to say random.choice and then choose from that list of durations. Okay, so now it says after a little while, after a few minutes, so it should keep choosing. So now it would be great if we can find stuff. So let's call this actions. We'll have a list of different actions like discover or find. So we stumble across, or find, or discover. You can put your own options in, or you reach, or see. So let's do the same in here. You and then random.choice, our list of actions. Now for this one, I'm actually going to get rid of a in here and put it in with the items that we're finding. So random, let's say items. And then we'll have a nice big long list of items that you might want to discover. So we'll have a ranger or a guide. Help, got the quotation marks in the wrong place. Or you find a man or a woman. Animal, maybe a dragon or a zombie. You can have your own choices in here. The more you have in, the more choices you have in your program. We'll end with a spider. So hopefully, after a little while, you reach skeleton, you find guide. Okay, so we need to say whether it's a, or if you wanted to extend it, you could find multiple, you could have a number in here instead of just one. Here it needs to be an animal, a dragon, a zombie, a skeleton. Oops, there we go. What's going on? Oh, the spider hasn't got in. There we go. You reach a dragon. This is better. Here are your choices. So I'd like to be able to choose how to react having discovered these items now. So let's call them reactions. So we could have run away, you could have talk to it, you could have try and eat it, you could have try and sleep. What else could we do? That'll do for now. You can put your own ones in if you'd like. So for these, rather than getting the user to type in exactly what to do, I'd like them to choose 0, 1, 2, 3. So here are your choices. I'd like it to say the number and then the choice. So for each one, now we could just do for reaction in reactions, but then we wouldn't be able to know the position, and the user wouldn't. It would be harder to work out the number that the user has typed in. So let's use a count variable instead. So for I in range, now at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could go up to 4 like that. But if you add extra ones in, I want it to be able to work with that. So I'll say for I in range up to the length of reactions. So for each item, it should say the number and then a colon, and then it should say what that actual reaction is. So the list called reactions at position I, which is our value that we use to count up to the length of reactions. That's better. So now it says 0 run away up to 3 sleep. And you've chosen 2. So the last thing is to say what the user has chosen to do. Okay. So here, instead of that ellipsis, let's say reactions, square brackets, I. Right, sleep. You've chosen to sleep. So we're almost there. Now I just want this story to go on forever and ever and ever and make all of this code loop. So we only need to show the title once, but the rest is going to go in a while loop, while true loop, because it's going to happen forever and ever and ever and ever. And this should do it. So we found an animal. I'm going to try and eat it. Sorry, vegetarians. You found a woman. I'm going to try and talk to it. Her, sorry, not it. Found an animal again. This time I'm going to run away. And it works. So let's put some challenges in because the story isn't very exciting at the moment. So challenge number 1 is to add in your own actions or items. The more values you put into your list, the more interesting your story will become. Challenge 2, if you choose to talk, make it ask what to say. So at the moment, if I say I want to talk, it just moves on. I'd like it to have an if statement in there so that you can choose what to say, and then possibly a random response. That'd be quite fun. And then final challenge, add an option to quit. So this story goes on forever and ever and ever at the moment. It would be nice if you choose the last option, quit, for it to break out of that loop over here. Okay, so remember to find the links to the activities in the description of this video or on live.withcode.uk. You can type out the code to improve your accuracy and speed. You can access the codes on that we've seen put together in this video. You can work through the K-Pride activities, or there's a quiz based on lists and other programming constructs, or you can get your school to sign up for the free competitions and get points for those activities as you work your way through them. Thanks for watching, all the very best, and see you next week.